on Mary's portrait, which I painted 6 years ago. Why, yes, she looks as then she looked. There is not any difference. She was even so on that old time, which has been here, but is gone hence. Gaze hard, and she shall seem to stir, till the greenth, looking shadier, as her white arm parts it, and cleaves, does homage with its bowing leaves, and yet the earth is over her. It seems to me unnatural, and a thing much to wonder on, as though mine image in the glass should tarry when myself am gone, while her mere semblance, I would say, has for its room, from May to May, the open sun-worn library, where her friends read and think, is she in the dark always, choked with clay? It is not often I can read when I sit here, for then her cheek seems to lean on me, and her breath to make my stooping forehead weak, again, and I can feel again her hand on my hand quickly lain, whenever I would turn the leaf, bidding me wait for her, and brief and light her laugh comes to me then, so that I gaze round from my chair to see her portrait where it stands, as it could smile me strength or hold out patience to me with its hands. Alas, it hath no smile, the brow, once joyous, is grown stately now, and if I look into the eyes, I think that they are quite calm and wise, for while the world moves, she knows how. I mind the time I painted it, drinking in Keats or Hunt mayhap, half down a yellow dell, warm, soft, and hollowed like a lady's lap. A golden cup of summer heat, she called it once. I lay my feet, covered in the high grass, and through my soul the music went, and grew solemn, and made my rest complete. I was as calm as silence, I do think, perchance, when spring comes back, leaving along the path it treads flowers like a waterfowl's bright track, that some such quiet warmth may creep about her in her heavy sleep, till her shut senses half unclose, being part of nature, and she knows what time one cometh there to weep. So as I lay, I set my book down with some grass between its leaves to mark the place, and then fell back, and thought. Sometimes the mind receives at such a moment that deep law which wise men have toiled vainly for. There comes a sudden voice that saith only one word, taking the breath, and a hand pusheth ope the door. But my soul tottered, being drunk with the sunshine in which its thoughts floated like atoms, and my feet stumbled among the mystic courts. So I waxed weary, and did bend my spirit but to apprehend the beauty of the heard and seen, the water noise and the strong green, and wondered if these things would end. Fronting me was a shade of trees, through whose thick tops the light fell in, hardly at all, a covert place where you might think to find a din of doubtful talk and a live flame, wandering, and many a shape whose name not itself knoweth, and wet dew, and red-mouthed damsels meeting you. It was through those trees that she came. Her hands were lifted to put back the branches from her path. Her head, with its long tresses gathered up, looked cool and nymph-like in the shade that reached beneath her waist, but the white dress beneath was yellow with the press of sunshine, and her soundless feet seemed to move heavily for heat, and the low boughs fell round her face. Scarcely a moment in the porch of that dim house of leaves she stood, her face and shoulders coming thence, shook off the shadow like a hood. Then, as she walked past through the noon, she saw where I was stretched, and down from the broad bosom's slope her eyes smiled to me in a kind surprise. She came near in her rustling gown. So along some grass bank in heaven, Mary the Virgin going by, seeth her servant Raphael, laid in warm silence happily, being but a little lovelier, since he hath reached the eternal year. She smiles, and he, as though she spoke, feels thanked, and from his lifted tock his curls fall, as he bends to her. How long we sat there, who shall say? There was no time while we sat there, but I remember that we found very few words, and that our hair had to be untangled as we rose. The day was burning to its close. This side and that, like molten walls, the skies stood round at intervals, swept with long weary flights of crows. Early the morrow morn I went, full of most noble memories, unto my task, and painted her, outstepping from the clustered trees. I moved not till the work was grand, whole and complete, you understand. I mean, my thought was all expressed in that one morning. For the rest, mere matters of the eye and hand. These being finished, I showed her what I had done, and when she saw herself there, opposite herself, she marvelled with a kind of awe, and bending back her head to see the whole great figure perfectly, her sweet face fell into my breast, and remained knowing its own nest, and with grave eyes looked up to me. Your pardon, I have wearied you, but to you these things are cold and dead, but I look round and see naught else alive, yea, time weigheth like lead upon my soul. Do you not think that when the world shelves to the brink of that long stream whose waters flow hence some strange whither, I may now kneel and stoop in my mouth and drink?